A lot of boxers don't do this. This is why Canelo's not fighting Benavidez. Why would Canelo fight Benavidez, who's relatively unknown, and Benavidez beats him, and Benavidez becomes overnight a superstar? That's Canelo's letting Benavidez make a name off of him.
Wait, so you're saying that you're going to make Conor McGregor?
It was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. We want to see Benavidez.
David Benavidez isn't holding back. After Canelo Alvarez's loss to Terence Crawford, the undefeated super middleweight is claiming that Canelo is too scared to face him.
Can you not give us Canelo Benavidez? Why? Canelo, why? I do not understand it. You're demanding $200 million? Like, come on, dude. Basically, Canelo doesn't want to give us the good fights. Imagine if Canelo and Benavidez gets made. That's the Super Bowl of boxing. Boxing is on the rise. Canelo, don't screw it up for us. I thought I would never say this, but Canelo's scared. Literally, I thought I would, as a fighter, I know fighters are not scared. But wow, we've been begging Canelo. Please, Canelo, please.
Saul Canelo Alvarez refused to fight David Benavidez, believing he was only chasing the guaranteed millions. Before the showdown with Terence "Bud" Crawford, veteran trainer Ronnie Shields boldly predicted that Crawford would come out on top, and he has remained firm in that prediction. After the fight, Shields explained that he always knew Crawford's speed and his ability to switch seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw would be too much for Canelo to handle. He highlighted how Bud's stance changes, combined with his precise attacking and smart distance control, exposed even minor flaws in Canelo's defense and created opportunities for Crawford to dictate the action throughout the fight.
Crawford, by unanimous decision, he got that. You know, I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looks for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is near for Canelo. And I just think that Crawford was too fast for him, you know, especially in the southpaw position. We all know Canelo have problems with the southpaw. So, you know, and that's why I picked Crawford. I just thought Crawford could be too fast for him.
Former professional boxer and coach Ronnie Shields praised Terence Crawford for executing an almost flawless game plan, staying composed, timing his attacks perfectly, and punishing every mistake Canelo made. Shields called it a brilliant display of ring IQ and tactical execution, just as he had predicted before the fight. After the match, he even suggested that Canelo should consider retirement, noting that so many top-level fights had clearly taken a toll on him. Oscar de la Hoya, however, offered a different perspective. He emphasized that the decision was entirely up to Canelo. If he feels he's done, he should retire, but if he continues, he must be selective about his opponents. De la Hoya also highlighted Crawford's skill, noting Bud's ability to read styles and counterpunch effectively, describing it as truly overwhelming. He concluded that the fight was a reminder of why Crawford is regarded as one of boxing's smartest and most adaptable fighters.
Crawford is older than Canelo, so we can't use the excuse that he's older, right? We can't use the excuse that, oh, well, you know, he's moved around too much. Well, it's your job to figure him out, right? Just like Chavez would figure out a fighter, just like I would figure out a fighter, just like any real great fighter can figure styles out. That's your job. I think Crawford did a tremendous job. Kudos to him. Sky's the limit for Crawford, and I really don't know where Canelo goes.
Mexican-American promoter and former boxer Oscar de la Hoya didn't stop at discussing Canelo's next steps. He also weighed in on Terence Crawford's path after the historic win. According to de la Hoya, Crawford is brimming with confidence, which will likely push him toward even bigger challenges. He noted that Crawford seems fully comfortable at super middleweight, with no real reason to drop back to 154, though a move to 160 could be considered if a blockbuster opportunity arises. In de la Hoya's view, the most compelling matchup right now would be against the rising Virgil Ortiz, a fight he believes would deliver action, excitement, and intrigue fitting Crawford's current status.
About Virgil and Crawford at 160. Imagine that. Would be incredible. So there's a good possibility that Crawford will stay at 168. Most likely go down to 160. I don't think he's going to touch 154. I think he'll stay at 160 eventually and try to find the biggest fights possible. And the biggest fight for him would be of Virgil Ortiz.
Rolly Romero praised Terence "Bud" Crawford's performance in the September 13th main event against Canelo Alvarez. He said it takes something extraordinary to hand Canelo a loss, and Crawford accomplished just that. Romero noted that the opening rounds were closely contested, with Canelo pressing forward and keeping the fight tight. As the bout progressed, however, Crawford gradually took control, dictating the pace, landing the cleaner shots, and winning round after round. He added that Bud's ability to adjust on the fly against an elite opponent explains why so many are starting to rank him among the greatest in boxing today, calling it an almost unthinkable, mission-accomplished performance.
That performance did something really special for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, and a lot more special than what probably anyone else is probably thinking, honestly. I didn't expect Crawford to be that big.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect Crawford to be that big, but Canelo did good the first few rounds, first like all the way up to round 4, and then that's when Crawford took over, So I mean, the second half of the fight though, it was all Crawford. There was no question about it.
Terence Crawford is said to think like Canelo Alvarez and is reportedly wary of a fight against David Benavidez. Crawford recently defeated his Mexican counterpart, Canelo, and took his belts, while Benavidez has been issuing challenges to set up what many consider Mexico's dream fight. Following Canelo's loss to Crawford, some former champions have even suggested retirement for Alvarez. Benavidez stands out due to his size, reportedly around 1.80 meters and 88 to 90 kilos, making him a bigger challenge than Canelo. Crawford himself has noted this difference, saying the only reason he faced Canelo was that Canelo wasn't as big. Boxing journalist Dan Rafael echoed Rolly Romero's observations, noting that the early rounds between Canelo and Crawford were a brutal, exciting back and forth. However, Crawford's meticulous preparation and precise execution allowed him to outperform the bigger, more experienced Canelo. Rafael praised Crawford's methodical mindset and long-term strategy, reminding fans that many doubted Bud before the fight due to Canelo's size, power, and experience. Ultimately, Crawford's focus, discipline, and commitment to training turned the challenge into a clear victory, cementing his status as one of boxing's most complete and determined champions.
Great job. I thought it was close. I had Canelo ahead in the early going, but I thought Crawford did an amazing job closing that fight down in the last few rounds, where he really started to back the supposed bigger guy up, although for me, they looked about the same size. But that was a brilliant performance, and what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him, said, forget about it, no chance against a bigger guy like that. But he showed his greatness. Dan
Rafael explained that while a Canelo-Crawford rematch would draw huge attention, it isn't necessarily the smartest move for either fighter right now. He advised both to explore other high-stakes options better suited to their current careers. For Canelo, Rafael suggested carefully weighing the pros and cons of any potential fight and deciding thoughtfully who, if anyone, to face next. Regarding Crawford, he noted that this historic victory has elevated Bud's status, meaning every top contender will be eyeing him. Rafael emphasized that Crawford must carefully consider each opportunity, taking into account the division, the scale of the event, and the titles at stake before making his next move.
Canelo had won, the winner of Eubank, and then the Hamza Shiraz. I mean, those types of names. He's got mandatories. Mabili got the draw tonight in a great fight. There's other fighters that have belts and interim belts and blah, blah, blah. So, nobody's going to rush Terence Crawford into his next fight. He'll take his time and, whatever the next fight is, it's going to be a big one because, his name is even greater now than what happened going into this fight for him. So he beats Canelo Alvarez, it becomes a much...
Lloyd Schofield, who had been confident Canelo Alvarez would win on September 13th, admitted he was shocked by Terence Crawford's complete dominance. He had expected a classic Canelo performance but instead saw the Mexican star fall short. For the first time, Schofield even questioned whether Canelo might be nearing the end of his career. Breaking down the fight, he noted that Crawford outclassed Canelo in every aspect: speed, timing, and ring control, building a wide lead and cruising to a decisive victory. Schofield added that he hopes Canelo doesn't retire, and that he can regroup for a strong comeback to remind the boxing world of the champion he once was.
I was hurt, I ain't gonna lie, because I've been a fan of Canelo since I was a kid, so my heart, a tear almost came on my I ain't gonna lie, because it felt like, that Canelo is done. But I just think he was a little off that night. I think he can, make a big comeback. But to Crawford, man, he's the greatest of this era. You got to give it to him. Greatest of this era. Nobody's ever done that before. 3-time undisputed. So you got to take your hats off to Crawford. And I was just shocked that he was able to just dismantle Canelo like that. Even with the size difference. That just goes to show size doesn't.
Canelo Alvarez's record charts the path of a modern boxing great, a 4-division world champion, international pay-per-view star, and a career built on facing the best. From his teenage rise in Mexico to signature wins over legends like Miguel Cotto and Sergey Kovalev, he has displayed not only devastating counterpunching but also the ability to adapt to almost any style. This consistent excellence at the elite level has made him a global star and one of boxing's most marketable fighters. Former champion Shane Mosley, who faced a young Canelo in 2012, recalled the experience as being in front of a boxer wise beyond his years. Mosley highlighted Canelo's patience, precise timing, and natural strength, sensing even then the qualities of a future pound-for-pound great. Canelo's calmness, evident even early in his career, has remained a defining trait throughout his rise to becoming one of boxing's most illustrious champions.
Kid, I think he was 21, 22 years old. He had a lot of experience, I should say. He had a lot of boxing experience at his age.
40, 50 fights?
Huh?
He had 40 or 50 fights at that point, right?
40, 50 fights, but not just that. I'm talking about experience as far as knowledge about being the real, experience. Like veteran experience. Like he knew how to counter, he knew how to block and counter, do different things. So it wasn't like he was just an ordinary fighter. And I was like, and fighting him, I'm like, wow. He actually knows how to get away from stuff. He knows how to counter. He knows how to trick shots up.
Two of Canelo Alvarez's most notable achievements include his back-to-back fights against Gennady Golovkin, where he showcased his durability and championship spirit in 2 evenly matched battles, and becoming the first undisputed super middleweight champion by outpointing Caleb Plant to unify all 4 major belts. Beyond titles, Canelo has consistently taken on high-risk challenges across multiple weight classes, never shying away from tough opponents. His ongoing career reflects both longevity and excellence, blending exceptional technical skills with the fighting spirit that represents the pride of Mexican boxing. These feats have cemented him as one of the era's finest fighters, and the fact that Crawford returned the belts to him after their fight highlights the respect he commands in the sport. David Benavidez has built a reputation as a formidable super middleweight, and his 2019 victory over Anthony Dirrell marked a key milestone in his career. Stopping the more experienced champion in the 9th round to reclaim the WBC belt, Benavidez spoke with the calm confidence of a fighter who knew he belonged at the top. He called the win a dream come true, highlighting how meaningful it was to regain the belt at just 22 years old. Benavidez credited his relentless pressure and sharp combination punching for wearing down Dirrell, gaining control and momentum with every round. He described the victory as proof of his growth and discipline, demonstrating that his youth, power, and focus made him the man to beat at 168 pounds.
Words can't explain how good I feel. I said I was going to get in here, I was going to win the belt again. Like I said, it was a hard fight. My Dirrell was trying to catch me all night. He was trying to counter me when I would step in. But we were willing to take the chances, and he didn't catch me at all. It was a hard fight, but my dreams come true. Second time fighting on pay-per-view. All my people out there came out to support. So man, it's an amazing feeling. I just can't wait to get back in there again and defend.
After the thrilling bout between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, fans are buzzing about what comes next. Some believe a rematch is justified, while others think both fighters should pursue new challenges. On David Benavidez's side, he has publicly called out Canelo, creating the intriguing scenario of youth versus a seasoned legend. Many voices have also suggested that Canelo consider retiring to protect his remarkable legacy. As for Crawford, his victory opens up numerous possibilities. Should he focus on rising star Virgil Ortiz, challenge experienced champions at middleweight or super middleweight, or take on another pound-for-pound mega fight? What's your take? Should Canelo accept Benavidez's challenge or retire, and who should Bud face next?